Donald Trump joins us now. Hey, Donald, how are you?
Hi, Laura. How are you?
Let's talk about the heat you've been getting for this birth certificate issue. Why'd you raise it initially, and where are we now on this?
Well, you said I've been getting heat. I don't feel heat. I think he's got heat. Look, he cannot give a birth certificate. You can, I can. I got one yesterday. It took me a day, 24 hours. I got one. I had a preliminary certificate, which I gave the day before. Nobody found that acceptable. Oh, this is terrible. It's not really the birth. So I said, okay, I'll get you my regular one. So I sent down, I got my regular birth certificate. Now everybody said, oh, gee, he really does have a birth certificate. You have to have a birth certificate. Now, when I hear he took an ad in a paper, his parents, these are poor people. When did you ever hear of anybody taking an ad in a paper? I see so much fraud in this world that an ad like that could have been staged. I don't mean staged at the time. I mean could have been computer-generated 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 2 years ago. It could have been computer-generated. I see so many fraudulent things going on, and all you have to do is pick up the paper and see what's happening. That would be like the least of it. And you know what I don't understand is these reporters that try and find everybody doing something wrong. They're giving this guy a free pass. I really don't know what's going on. I don't know why he can't get a birth certificate. His family's arguing about which hospital he was born in. They don't really know which hospital he was born in. The so-called newspaper ads, the Rockefeller family doesn't buy ads in a newspaper. Now you're going to have two poor people putting an ad in a newspaper that their son was born. There's something fishy about the whole thing.
Factcheck.org released...
So when you say heat, I don't think I have any heat. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just saying what I think. A lot of people... You know what I hate most, Laura? A lot of the so-called birthers, these are great people. These are really great American people. These are hardworking, unbelievable, the salt of the earth people. They get demeaned if you. I've had people that are afraid to even bring the subject of birther up, but the birth certificate. They're afraid to bring it up. They say, "Oh my God, they're going to malign me." So I always start off by saying, "Listen, I went to a great college, the best. I was a very good student. I'm a very smart guy. I've made billions of dollars, and here's the way I feel about it." I preface it because I don't want to be labeled an idiot like they do. They have it's amazing. This guy's Teflon. Between that and the Resco matter, how he got away with Resco is unbelievable to me, because if you were involved with Resco, you'd be sitting in a prison right now. So,
Tony Resco, the real estate guy in Chicago,
The guy is Teflon. It's amazing the stuff.
Well, what do you think of this, Donald? What do you think? Back during the campaign, I remember that in factcheck.org has this. I'm sure you've seen it. They released this digitally scanned image of his birth certificate to quell all the charges that were flying around. This was after Jerome Corsi started doing his investigation into this, and he eventually published a book about this. So that digitally scanned image of his birth certificate wasn't good enough.
He doesn't have a birth certificate, or if he does, there's something on that certificate that is very bad for him. Now, somebody told me, and I have no idea whether this is bad for him or not, but perhaps it would be, that where it says religion, it might have Muslim. And if you're a Muslim, you don't change your religion, by the way. But somebody said maybe that's the reason that he doesn't want to show it. I don't think so. I just don't think he has a birth certificate. And everybody has a birth certificate. When you're born in a hospital, you have a birth certificate. There's something fishy. When I started out 2 weeks ago, I made a comment that I'm not 100. Somebody said, "Do you think he was born in this country?" I said, "I can't be 100% sure." Well, let me tell you, after working on it for 2 weeks, I'm a lot less sure than I was 2 weeks ago.
I've got to say, I'm so focused on Libya and all these other budget matters. I mean, the birth certificate thing is never something I've really focused on. Tim Pawlenty kind of gave you a side swipe there in that statement. What do you make of what he said? He said it should be off limits.
Well, I thought he was very nice to me, though. I mean, I understand that, and he doesn't want to be labeled as a birther. Probably, I'm proud to be. I mean, I'm very proud of it. I don't like the term. I think it's a demeaning term to the people that believe that he should have a birth certificate, that some people believe he was not born in this country. And when people ask me that question, I just can't be sure because nobody knows. How about when his family is arguing over what hospital? His family members are arguing over which hospital.
Yeah.
Then he writes that letter supposedly to a hospital, and in the letter he puts a cute little sentence, "the place of my birth," and the doctors didn't even know about it.
The president spoke to most of the major anchors yesterday, Donald, after, look, his poll numbers just came out. They're disastrously low.
He's a disaster. He shouldn't be president. He's a total disaster.
His reelection, you use disaster almost as much as I do. as a word.
No, I mean,
use
the
it all
man
the
should
time.
not be president. And I'm not talking about because of the fact he has no birth certificate, maybe for that too. But this is not a man that's equipped to be president.
One final question. Jeb Bush is considered a candidate for the presidency by many in 2016. Would you encourage him if he thinks he has the answers and he could defeat Obama to get in now, someone like him or Chris Christie?
Well, Chris Christie's a very good friend of mine. I really love him. I don't know Jeb so much, but I can tell you that I think the Bush era has really hurt us. And, you know, the Bush era gave us Obama. Without Bush and without the mistakes that Bush made, we wouldn't have Obama as president right now. And honestly, in all fairness to John McCain and Sarah Palin, you could not have won that election. And Bush gave us Obama. So at this moment, I just don't want to hear about Bush.
No. Well, that's music to my ears. Donald Trump, great to talk to you as always. We really appreciate it.
Thank you
Take
very
care,
much,
Donald.
Laura.